Yo-yos. We can do all sorts of interesting things with yo-yos. We can even use them to tell stories with. So for instance today, I'd like to tell you a story about Egypt, land of the pyramids. It happens at a time when the Israelites are living in Egypt. It also happens at a time when, to be honest, the Egyptians weren't the most hard-working of people. Different today, obviously. And in fact, these Egyptians, they would just love to sit and watch the River Nile go up and down and up and down and up and down. You can see where we're going with this. They were such not hard-working people that there were days when they would wake up, go downstairs and just sit there. They would never come back upstairs to make the beds and clean the bathroom and do all the things that needed to be done. Now there was one person who was very worried about this. His name was Pharaoh, king of Egyptians. And in those days, being king of Egypt was a bit like being king of the whole round world. Now Pharaoh thought to himself, look, if my people are just going to sit and watch the River Nile go up and down, who's going to do all the work? Then one day, when he's out, taking his pet crocodile for a walk, he comes up with the answer. He thinks, of course it's obvious. We'll make the Israelites do all the work for us. And with that, he commands that all the Israelites are to be chained up and turned into slaves. What's more, to make sure that they never become strong enough to escape from their slavery, he instructs that whenever an Israelite girl is born, everything's fine, she's allowed to live. But if an Israelite boy is born, it has to be thrown into the river and drowned. Shocking. And for a while, that's how things are. Until one lady decides that she's going to outsmart old Pharaoh. When her baby is born, for months she keeps it secret. But as the baby grows, it gets harder and harder to keep secret until she can't hide it any longer. So she takes her baby and wraps it up in a little bundle before heading down to the river. She places the baby in a basket, then throws it into the river, just like Pharaoh said. But before she threw it, she made sure that the basket was nice and waterproof. And she didn't just throw it anywhere, oh no. She threw it just where Pharaoh's own daughter would come and bathe each day. Sure enough, not long after the basket goes into the water, Pharaoh's daughter arrives. Imagine her surprise when she sees this basket bobbing up and down in the river. And Pharaoh's daughter thinks to herself, that's strange. So she sends out one of her servants' girls to go and get the basket. She brings it back, and inside the basket, there's a bundle of clothes, which Pharaoh's daughter unwraps. Imagine her surprise when, having unwrapped the bundle, she sees a little baby sleeping peacefully in the basket. At once, Pharaoh's daughter falls in love with the baby. And, looking round, she sees a young Israelite girl on the banks of the river. Without thinking about who this girl might be, she says, you there, go and find me a nurse for this baby. Now that girl was none other than the baby's own sister. And so what does she do? She runs off and brings back the baby's mum, who takes care of this baby as it's brought up in Pharaoh's own household. And Pharaoh's daughter named that child Moses.